All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And as part of the Rankin Technical College online AWD, or Application and Web Development 1100 C# programming class, I've been doing a series of video presentations based mainly on the PowerPoint slides for the textbook for the class, that being Murock's C# 8th edition. I've gone through the first half of the book, and now we're getting into the beginning of Section 3. So now I'm going to go through the slides for how to create and use classes. All right, so let's get going. All right, we've got one applied objective here. Given the specifications for an app that uses classes, structures, records, or record structs, develop the app. Now, literally, probably 90% of this chapter is on classes, if not more. Just at the end, they go through structures, records, and record structs. All right, our knowledge objectives. List and describe the three layers of a three-layered application. Describe these members of a class, constructor, method, and property. Describe the concept of encapsulation. Explain how instantiation works. Describe the main advantage of using object initializers. And explain the auto-implemented properties, how they work and how they differ from properties in a private field. Explain how expression-bodied methods, constructors, properties, and accessors work. Explain what a static member is. Describe the concept of overloading a method or constructor. Explain what a required property is. Describe the use of property patterns with objects. And describe the difference between a class, a structure, a record, and a record struct. All right. Now, it's very interesting here, in my opinion, for whatever this is or is not worth. It says here the structure of a three-layered application. All right. And they break it into three parts: the presentation layer, the middle layer, and the database layer. The reason I say that this is interesting is one of the things that you will be going over in the next class you'll probably take in the program, which is AWD1100, is you will talk in there about something that's called the MVC, or Model View Controller Pattern. Now, it doesn't exactly map up with this, but it somewhat does. All right? The model is where your data exists. All right? So in this case, it's the middle layer for what we're looking at. Okay? Now, it's the business classes. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, we have the view, or the presentation layer. And that, basically, in the MVC pattern, that is the view. All right? Now, we have something in MVC called the controller that we're not really using here, because this model that's got the data, the middle layer with the business classes, so this is the model layer. It also is going to include not just the data, but the databases. All right, so you might say, that's fine, then why'd you even tell that to us? Because you're gonna talk about different patterns as you go on in your Rankin career, and this is one of the ones that we'll talk about. All right, so notice what we're doing here. We're creating a new class that's called a product class. Okay, what does that mean? Well, I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to do a lot of copying and pasting in here. All right, so I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to call it Product Maintenance. All right, just Product Maintenance is fine. Okay, then I'm going to start up a new session. Visual Studio 2022. Create a new project. It will be a Windows Forms app, and I'm going to call this one, we'll call it the same thing. And we'll just call it Product Maintenance. In fact, let's double check here. Okay, so Product Maintenance. Okay, it'll be in a folder called Product Maintenance in just a minute. All right, and we will call the solution name Product Maintenance as well. So I'm going to click Create, and it's going to create that for us. All right, but guess what? I don't really care about this. What I'm going to do first off is I'm going to come in here, right there. I'm going to right mouse click and I'm going to choose Add. I'm going to go down almost to the very bottom and I'm going to choose Class. All right, and I want the class to be chosen here, and I'm going to call this product.cs. Now, one thing about these, when you go in and you create classes like we're doing here, there's no GUI. There's no graphical user interface. It's just code. All right, so let me jump back into our text here, and I'm going to grab every bit of this. And I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to paste it in here. Now, I don't expect most of this stuff that's here to make sense to you. It's totally fine if it doesn't. All right, so notice the first thing, let's see, I've got public class product, and I had internal class product. Well, when it created the product for us, I actually don't need these two lines. So let me get rid of those. There we go. All right, and I don't know what the heck all this down here is. So let me look. I'll tell you what, for right now, let's just take this and comment it out. All right, we'll come back to it. We'll get it, but I want to show you this. All right, and that is what you see right here. So I don't want to comment out that. There. Now all of our errors are going to be gone in just a moment. Okay, now what do we have in here? Okay, what do we have in here? Well, this thing right here is called a constructor. What that means is when we create a brand new product, okay, nothing special is going to happen except it's going to get a product code that's going to be empty. It's going to get a product description that's going to be empty. And it's going to get a product price, all right, that's going to be basically set to 0. All right, now again, we'll talk about the method in just a minute. Don't worry about that right now, please. All right. But we created something new in here, and we want this to be public. We want to be able to use it throughout our program. So I'm changing it from internal to public. Okay? Now, a constructor is something that you use when you create a new instance of a class. So in this case, if we create a new product, it's going to call this constructor. And these are the properties that each product will have. So with each product, we'll be able to both get a product code and set a product code. We'll be able to get a product description and set a product description. We'll be able to get a product price and set a product price. Now, we do want to put a public method in here. I'm not sure why this looks as ugly as it does, but it does. All right, so I'm going to get, don't worry about the errors. This is called get display text. Okay. All right, so let me bring this back up from the book here. Believe it or not, we're almost there. All right, whoops. Okay. All right. So we've got that, and we've got that. We won't need these two here or here. All right. Now we're down to one. It says unterminated string literal right here. Okay, we're going to fix that in just a moment. Now, this get display text, what is going to happen eventually in our GUI is we're going to have the word code followed by a tab or a blank space. All right, then the word price. So we'll have the code, the product code, followed by some separator, followed by the price, followed by some separator, followed by the description. I think, let's see if we put this all on one line, if it's going to get rid of the error that we have. There we go. All right. So that's our first class. Now, what is this separator? It could be whatever we wanted it to be. It could be a tab. It could be a blank space. But the point is, we're going to have the product code, followed by the product price in currency format, followed by the product description. Now, again, remember, we're just starting this. So if it makes little to almost no sense, it's okay. It really and truly is okay. I'm trying to walk you through this and do it fairly slowly. So, an object is a self-contained unit that has properties, methods, and other members. All right? This is a class. We're going to create products based off of this class. Each product will have its own code, its own description, and its own price. So the class, again, as we learned earlier, is kind of like a blueprint. It contains the code that defines the objects. Objects are instances of a class. The process of creating an object is known as instancing or instantiation. We talked about encapsulation and data hiding. And again, you'll see here that in this case, everything that's in here is public. All right? It'll change as we get going, so don't let that worry you. Okay? So here's code that declares and creates two product objects. All right? Now, where are we going to put that code? Well, first of all, let's grab the code. Okay, and I'm going to copy this. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go back in our program. I'm going to go back to our form. All right, I'm not going to put any GUI in here yet, but I'm going to view the code. And then in here, I'm going to paste that in. No, doesn't look very good right now. All right, so let's see if we can figure out why it doesn't look very good. All right, I'm going to move these all over. You don't have to do what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. I want to line stuff up here. We're going to create two products. The first product is called Product 1. All right, the code for Product 1 will be C#. The description for Product 1 will be Murox C#. The price for Product 1 will be $59.50. Then we'll have another product, Product 2. All right, and for that product, its code will be ASP-MVC. All right, its description will be Murox ASP.NET MVC, and its price will be $61.50. I don't know if it's going to let us do this. All right, so I'm going to just copy this one in and do it like this. All right, so you'll notice if we look in here, we're not getting errors under either one of these. See that? So product 2 equal new product 1 equal new product. We're not getting any errors there. All right, we're getting errors on the other stuff. So let's look at it. It says the name product1.code does not exist in the current environment. All right? So in other words, it's not understanding. Okay? We've got a product 1 here. All right? But it seems to be a problem linking up this and this. Oh, not that. I'm sorry. Linking up this with this. Okay, so let's see if we can resolve that problem. All right. Now, this is another way you can do this, and as it says, it's in C# 9.0 and later we're using 8.0, or at least I am. All right. Now, the dialog for adding a class, the product class. Well, this is what I showed you before. I right mouse clicked on the name of the project. I chose add and I chose class. All right, and it came up and it looked pretty much like this. All right. So that was the starting code that we had. In fact, if you look at this, it's going to look very similar, like I said, to what we had. Getting and setting values. A statement that sets the value of a property and a statement that gets the value of a property. The big thing to notice here is when you're using what's called a setter, the name is on, as you can see right here, the name is on the left of an equal sign. When you're using a getter, the name is on the right of an equal sign. Okay? These are just things that over time you'll be, oh, that makes sense. Here you'll notice that we have just a getter. What does that mean? If you have only a getter, that means that the product in here it's read only. So what it means is you can't change it. You can't write to it. Once you've set it, it's a set it and forget it. And there's 2 ways you can do that. All right. This is again 9.0 and later, so we're not going to worry about that. All right. Then we've got this. This is the thing I showed you before. So what this is going to say is when we call get display text, all right, if we pass in a separator, again, that could be a blank space, that could be a tab, that could be whatever we want it to be. We'll print out the product code followed by that separator, followed by the product price and a separator and the description. All right. Constructors with and without parameters. Okay. Well, what's the difference between these? You can see a lot of difference, but let me try to put it hopefully into English that'll make sense to you. All right. In the first case, where you've got a constructor with no parameters, what that means is these values right here, code, description, and price, will be set to their default values. Code is a string. The default value is the empty string, double quote, double quote. Description is a string, so that will also be set to double quote, double quote. Price is a decimal, so it'll be set to 0.0M. In this case, if we write this, then we're able to create a product and pass these 3 things in right from the get-go. All right, so there's the difference. That's calling it one way, and that's calling it the other way. All right. Again, with much of the stuff that they talk about here, they'll say this, C# 7.0 and later, etc. It's not my goal to confuse you by going over everything that's in here. I just want to hit some of the high points. All right. Now, when you look in here, if you look in here, here's another class. And this class is known as a validator. What does it mean? Well, guess what? We've been validating for quite a while now. For example, we validated that in the program that we did together, the payroll program, we validated that a first name existed, a last name existed, an hours worked existed, and we validated that it was between 0 and 84, and that an hourly rate existed, and that its value was between 0 and 99.99. So this is going to be another class. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab everything that's in here, and I'm going to copy it to the clipboard. Then I'm going to go back to my program, and I'm going to create another class. So I'm going to right mouse click on here, choose add, choose class, put in again the word validator.cs. Again, I don't want that to be internal. I want that to be public. And then I'm going to paste that in. Now you'll notice, unless I missed something here, not giving us any errors. Everything we're trying to do in here, we're able to do. This is setting a line break to \n. This is checking for the presence or absence of something. If you check for something and it's blank, it'll say that that's a required field. Okay, so file, save all in there. All right. So it says here, this is code that uses static members. All right. What does that mean? Well, notice the code that's here is calling the validator class, and it's calling isPresent. And basically what it's going to say is if there's no code provided and if there's no description provided, one or the other, we're going to get something that says basically entry error. All right. Now, I want to show you something. I'm going to take this right here and I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to get a bunch of errors, I believe. All right. So I'm going to go back to my program and back here to our Form 1 and where we have our code. All right, and I'm going to go down to here, and I'm going to paste this in. And again, notice lots of errors. Now, part of the reason we're getting that error, again, is this file right here, form1.cs, is not communicating with this file right here. And in order to do that, we're going to have to add a using statement, it looks like. And we'll see after we do that if this gets any better or any clearer. So I'm up at the top. Now I've got that using static product maintenance dot validator. Well, it doesn't look like it fixed much, if anything. All right. And I may have even put it in the wrong place. Don't know, but we're going to figure it out. All right. This is the form that we want to create. So what is it? What does this have? Let's look at it. All right. It's a form. This is a list box. Right there. That's a list box. And it's going to have this stuff in it. So it's going to be a list box, and it's going to have 3 buttons. So let's make that right away. I'm not going to worry about naming it or anything else. This, I'm going to put the word product maintenance up here. So in here, in our form, right there, let's change the color because we can. We'll use that yellow. Okay. We're going to have 3 buttons that were right here. All right. And let's just make one of them for right now. And that button is going to say add product. Make it a little wider. All right. So this will be BTN add product. And we will put there for text, add product. Okay, and I'm going to copy it twice. Paste, paste. And I'm going to make another one here and here. All right, and all right, we've got an add product, and we're going to have a delete product and an exit. So this one will be BTN delete product. And it'll have the code on it, delete product. Or I should say the text on it, delete product. And this one will be exit. And it'll be BTN exit. All right, let's go in and let's make the text on these a lot bigger so we can read them. So as I've been doing, we'll make them 20, bold, Arial. Okay, so there's add product, there's delete product, and there's exit. All right, then let's grab this list box. That's right there. And we'll put it here. Move it down just a little bit. There we go. And we'll move it down so it's like this. All right. So that's what we want this to look like. Now let's make a couple changes. Okay. So first of all, let's go in and view the tab order. We'll set it to 0, 1, 2, 3, and I believe it already was. That's okay. Another view tab order. Let's click on our form and let's set the start position to center screen. And we will set, I don't know, we don't have to set an accept and a cancel, but we will anyway. So we'll set the accept button. We will set the accept button to BTN add product. And we will set the cancel button to BTN delete product. I don't know if they even do that in the book. Doesn't matter. And one more thing, and that is, let's rename this. I don't know what they called it, if they even say what they called it. Oh, I'm not sure right now, but we're going to get it anyway. All right. I'm going to just call this LST products. So this will be LST products. All right. And I want to change the size of the code that's going to go in there as well. Now 20 may be too big. I don't know. So I'm going to make it 16 bold and Arial. There's that. Now I'm going to lock my form. All right. And I'm going to make a second form because if you look in here, did we add the words product maintenance in there? Did not. So let's put that in there for the text. All right, there it is. Okay, so let me do a file save all on here. And now I'm going to come in and right mouse click on the name of our project, and I'm going to choose add, and I'm going to choose form. All right, we're going to add a second form. Now this second form, all right, this second form, let's see. So that's the product maintenance form, and the second one will be a new product form. So we'll call this one FRM new product. Okay, so there's that. Let's go back to this one, and let's change the name on this one, the one that we have been working on, this one. We'll call this FRM product maintenance. And yes, we want to change it everywhere. Okay. All right, so we've got that. And we also have this. We have this, and we have, come on, where are you? This. So you can see they're the same size. All right, this one, let's make it a different color. We don't have to do that, but let's do it anyway. Just make it green. All right, and on here, we want to have 3 labels, 3 text boxes, and 2 buttons. I'm going to make it look just like theirs. 3 labels, 3 text boxes, 2 buttons. So 3 labels. And as you know, we'll have to come in here and set the auto size property to false. There we go. So there's our 3 labels. 1, 2, 3. Let's change the color on those. Make it a shade darker. Okay. And we need 3 text boxes. Now I'm going to make everything pretty much the same size. They don't do that in the book. It doesn't matter one way or the other. All right, let's, and there were 2 buttons. This said new product up here, so let's change that to the words new product. And that now says new product. Let's add our 2 buttons. So there's our other button. All right, might not look exactly like it does in the book, and that's totally fine. So let's go in here and let's change the size of everything. This I think we can make 20 bold and Arial. Okay, that looks a little bit nicer. And it looks like these have to be a little bit wider. All right, it pretty much looks the way that it does in the book, right there. All right, I guess they line these things up with this. Like that, and then they made these wider, or one of them wider at least. There we go. All right, let's take this and let's lock our controls. All right, so our buttons, I think we're save and cancel. Save and cancel. So the first one will be BTN save. And it did have the underscore. It's no biggie one way or the other. But ampersand SAVE, so there's that one. This one is cancel. So it'll be ampersand CANCEL, and it'll be BTN cancel. All right, these are our labels, and our labels will say code description and price. Well, that's not going to be big enough for description. I can tell you that right away. So let's move. I'm going to make these a little bigger, or move these around a little bit. How's that? Move that here. I'm going to move these here, and I'm going to make these wider. Okay, let's lock this back up again. This will be LBL code. And it'll say code on it. We'll move all these. Let's center these 3 buttons. So we're going to set the text align to center. All right. And on this one, let's put code with a colon. I don't have to, but let's do that anyway. Since this is LBL code, let's make this TXT code. All right. This will be description. So it'll be LBL description. And it'll have the word description in it. All right, and this will be TXT description. And this last one will be LBL price. And it'll have the word price on it with a colon. And finally, this right here will be TXT price. Okay, I think we've got that pretty well built. So that's that one. Here is our other one. So you can see they're both looking pretty good, I think. All right. And there's going to be a confirm delete dialog. Let's worry about that one later. Okay. All right. So this will be the code that we will need, as it says, for the product maintenance form. So we've got our main form. So that's going to be the code for the main form. And this will be the code for the new product form. We've already got the code, I think, for the, I don't know if we do or not, but we'll look for the validator class. I think it looks like we're going to have to add something to it. All right. And then we will come back to this, and that'll get us pretty far into the chapter. So let's start by going, this is our main form right here. FRM, they called it FRM product main. And I don't know what I called mine, but we're going to change it. So this one here is going to be FRM product main. All right. I called it product maintenance, but we'll change the name again to FRM product main. Okay. Hit enter. Yes, I want to change everything. There we go. So it's now FRM product main. All right. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to view the code. I'm going to get rid of all the code that I'd put in here earlier. All right. So the only thing that we have in here right now is just FRM product main in this thing. And believe it or not, you already know what this is now. That's a constructor. All right. And I'm going to have to add my curly back in. And now we're going to go and we're going to just add that code as they showed it in the text. All right. So I'm going to grab this. And after we add it, hopefully we won't have any errors. We'll go over what all of it means. Right now, no errors. That's always a good start. Well, we got product DB here. We'll fix that in a moment. I know what that is. All right. Then we're going to come here. Somehow, when I did this, I lost my last two curlies. So that's why I got those errors. That's fine. We got one error right now. We're going to fix that momentarily. All right. And this is the rest. Look here, I think I may have put this one in. Let's look. Yeah, I want that. Okay. I want to get rid of this here, both of these. and I'm going to add them back in like that. All right, so that is everything right now. That is everything. Okay, for the first form. Now, what is it? It doesn't like product DB or product DB. All right, so it is giving me a couple errors here. Okay, we're going to fix all this stuff. All right, we got 5 or 6 errors. All right, so that's everything that's in there. Let's go on. Oops, sorry. Let's go on. And this will be the code for the new product form. So this is FRM new product. So I'm going to grab this. And I think I did call this FRM new product. I did. So let's put in this code. Okay. It doesn't seem to like that, but we'll look at that in a bit. And this looks like it's our save. So, and then we'll have cancel, and we'll have this is valid data as well. Okay. All right. All right, this is pretty good because right now I'm getting a few errors. I don't need these. Well, they're all grayed out. All right, but what errors am I getting? Well, it doesn't like the fact I'm doing product equal new, but I think if I come in here and say new product, that'll go away. So that error is now gone. All right, this is decimal we haven't written yet, and that's why we're getting that error. So that's, we're only getting an error or two in here. That one, well, we'll see. So we have to go back into our validator routine here. Okay, we don't have much in there right now. That was a very generically written validator routine. So I'm going to go back into this validator and I'm going to put in all of this stuff that you see here. So some of it I think was here already, but I'm going to replace all of it with this. Now you might even be thinking right now, I don't have a frickin' clue as to what he's doing. We're going to go over all of it in just a moment. Promise. Don't need that. All right. And this. All right. All right. Now it's up to us. You know, I want to start to debug this to see which one to debug first. So let's see. Is int 32. It says a namespace cannot contain members as fields, etc. All right, it's because I've got that line there. That'll fix that. These should be moved over. And this, let's see. That should be moved over. And we lost a curly brace. So guess what? We now have one class with no errors in it. So that one's been fixed. Okay, that's good. That's a good start. So file, save all. So let's go take a look at the other ones where we do have errors. All right, so we have our, let's go to our product main here. All right. And here we're going to have to say FRM product. That should get rid of that error. No, that should be new product. Okay, so that is gone. It doesn't like this product DB, and I don't think we're declaring that anyplace. So if you look, those are the errors that we're getting there in that product DB, product DB, product DB. See that? It's everywhere where we've got a product DB. So we'll have to fix that. All right. And in our FRM new products, I don't see any errors in here. That doesn't mean they're out. We've got this one here. It's not available in the version we're using. Can we do this? I don't know. Nope. Can we just do it like that? Okay. So now we have no errors in that one. So the only one that we have some errors in yet is in the product main. Okay. I want to get the errors out so I can explain everything that's going on in here to you. All right. All right. A getter that processes the field before returning it. A setter. How to code overloaded methods. Yeah. Product class. What I'm looking for is that DB. And I'm looking to, to see where I have to put that. And I don't even see it in here, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to see if I can find it. There, well, that's in our product maintenance form. Product DB, okay. Product DB, it's in there as well. And there, and that's where we were getting the errors. So what, that slide 58 to 59. All right. Not working out nearly as slick as I thought it would, but that's okay. We're going to fix it anyway. Product DB, get products. Product. Don't know if this will fix it or not, but we're going to try. I'm going to try to change it. That's not going to work. I'll tell you what, we are at 49 minutes. I'm going to pause for a minute. I'm going to look at the answer they had in the book. All right, because I'm just trying to do this without going and putting in the one that was in the book. So give me just a second, if you would, please. All right, I went back and looked at the authors, and hopefully I'm going to fix this now. And that is, I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to add another class. That is going to be called product db.cs. All right, and I'm going to make this public. But I think it also, let me double check, I think it had to be public static class. And then in here, we're going to paste in all this good looking code right there. All right, now It's giving me a couple errors here. So it says feature nullable types. So it doesn't like that null that's in there. Okay. And this will have to say new product. The reason it's giving me errors is list products equal new. I have to figure out what that is. Okay, it's the same error twice. Products equal new. Oh, that isn't it either. Create the list. Can we just say new list? Like that? No. All right, we got this down to one error. As soon as we can figure this out, I can go over the entire thing with you. Because these are the only errors that are in here. And if you were with my class last semester, you know that quite often when I was broadcasting from my house, as I am right now, that I would get my internet connection would drop. I called Charter, and they're coming over Monday to give me a new router. That's what it said to do. There we go. All right, so let's grab that line. And I think we have to put it down here also. No, that's not it. Product equals new product. And let's see. Great, I have no errors. Well, that's good. Now, there is supposed to be a file on my C drive right here that's called products.txt. And I don't know if I have that or not. So let me check on my C drive. Okay, so under my C drive, I have a C#, I have a files, and there is products.txt right there. All right, so this may run when I go to run it. So let's check. Or I might have errors. All right, so let's see if I'm able to add a product. Okay, doesn't like that, doesn't like any of the code that's in here. So that's the first thing to check out. All right, I believe everything that's in here is okay in my products DB class. I think that's all right. And I think that everything in my FRM new product is okay. So let's look in our FRM product main. All right, so there was the add. FRM new product, so that should be okay. And in the delete, sure you want to delete this? Okay, that's okay. All right. The problem is when I run this, File, Save All, when I run this, what should come up in here, what should come up in there is the two products that I had in that file, and they're not showing. So that isn't good. All right, but when I click Add Product, it should be bringing up the other form. Not doing that. All right, if I highlight a product that's in here, there are none, and I click Delete Product, it should ask me if I want to delete it, and Exit should allow me to close, but even that. So let's take a look at what's in here. So this is our FRM product main, right there. Nope. Where are you? There you are. FRM new product. Close that. I don't want that. FRM new product. FRM product main. There we are. So when we click Add Product, whoa, nothing in there. All right, because we called ours Add, and I must have called the button something else. That's okay. First of all, let's get this out of here. All right, so this, I want to call this just BTN Add. So I'm going to have to come in here and remove the code that's there in that click routine. That's what I just got in there, just put in there by hitting that. All right, and let's go back to here, and we're going to change the name of this to BTN Add. Okay, and we'll go to Delete, and we're going to change the name of that to BTN Delete. Okay, and then finally, so Add Product, Delete Product, and Exit, BTN Exit. Why am I not showing that? All right, it's not doing the this.close. So let's get that out of there. All right, now I have no idea if we made it better or not, but we're going to look. All right, Add Product. It's not showing me this. Why isn't it? Delete's not working either, neither is Exit. Good gravy. Okay, I guess this is going to have to be a two-parter. And I've just finished with part 1, so I'll be back with part 2 shortly.